As an actor, it's inherent to be like, I got to make my mark here. I got to be funny. I got to make sure this is memorable. I got to make sure I pop. Sometimes when you do like a workaholic show, it's really better to enhance whoever's world you're going into.
You're listening to the Almost 30 podcast, hosted by Krista Williams and Lindsay Simsick. Almost 30 started as a conversation about the transition from our 20s to our 30s. But then we realized life is full of transitions. So we expanded our mission.
We are an intuition-led, wellness-focused lifestyle podcast that promises to deliver authentic conversations, diverse points of view, and insights rooted in optimism, growth, and intention. The Almost 30 Nation community is a group of purposeful dreamers who are smart, passionate, and always seeking the full potential in every aspect of their lives.
At Almost 30, we're making magic together. We dream it,
and then we do it.
Thanks so much for tuning into the Almost 30 podcast.
Here we go. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Sometimes we count each other in.
Yeah, honestly. I didn't realize before we started the podcast how you when you're check the mic, you actually have to do check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
What are you saying?
Whenever we're at events, they're check the mic.
Right.
And I'm I don't know. It's weird because I'm hello.
Oh, right.
But that's why people go check 1, 2, 1, 2. If you're in a band. Yes. Check.
What did they ask us the other day? We were...
What did you eat for breakfast?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tim Ferriss asked that whenever he's interviewing people when he's doing mic check. He's what did you eat for breakfast? And I forget who it was. I don't think it was Wim Hof. And Wim Hof was nothing. I don't eat breakfast. It was so funny.
He doesn't have his shirt on. You're all right.
Yeah, honestly. He's oh, you're still in the ice bath. So yeah, me and Lindsay have been on a tear.
We've been on a
podcast interviews.
Tear. Yeah.
I've told our story 4,000 times.
Yeah. I think what's been nice actually in the last week or two, it's where yes, there are a lot of repeat questions, but I think we've kind of varied the answers
100%.
Which has been fun to listen to you say things differently, listen to me say things differently. And then also usually we'll flip, you'll take a question in one interview and then it just ends up that I take the question in the next and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's been a blast. I mean, we've had so much fun meeting other podcasters.
Yeah.
And they've been such fun, interesting questions. And it's so, I love hearing what other people are wondering or thinking and stuff. So that's been so fun.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
So thanks to everyone.
How was therapy last night?
Therapy was great. I hadn't gone in 3 or 4 weeks because we had events on Tuesdays. And so I hadn't been, which was fine. I didn't go crazy, but I did start to crave that conversation. And it was timely because I'm crushing on someone and things were happening. And I was just I need to talk this out with someone other than a friend, which was good. And I told her the whole story and
the whole story.
Yeah. Yeah. I told her everything.
Ooh.
Yeah. And now everyone's what story?
Yeah. I don't know what that meant. So you're as confused as I am, to be honest.
And I told her and she's okay, and was, doing her usual therapist thing. And then she's so why did you want to talk about this? Where it's because there is a why there, but I didn't really articulate the why yet. And because so much of why I was kind of not freaking out, just kind of uneasy was that he's not the best texter. And I know a lot of you out there have kind of expressed this in the group and in various, different conversations as it relates to your current relationship or someone you're dating or crushing on. And so we did this meditation. We did breath work to kind of drop me in. And this is kind of what we do. It's the EMDR type thing where we drop into a moment in my life where I had that feeling of not feeling seen or valuable or worthy of dating that person. So it dropped me in immediately into this movie theater where it was right before my first kiss. And it was with this guy who I had crushed on for so long, talked on AOL Instant Messenger for like
I think everyone's had their first
months.
kiss at the movie theater in our generation.
That is, I would actually love to take a poll
Honestly, please join our secret Facebook group or DM us if
to take a poll.
your first kiss was at the movie theater.
and tell us what movie it was
Hardball.
and where you were sitting. First
was
row,
Hardball.
back row.
First row.
Yeah, first row. But anyway, leading up to that, I got my Peter Pan haircut right before like hanging out with him. And I remember specifically over AIM sending him pictures of the Olsen twins because I was going to look like them. It was so cute. And he was like, ooh, that's hot. And I was like, great. And then we went to the movies. I had friends on my side, him on his side, his friends. And we were in the middle and like he went in for the makeout, tried to go up my shirt, couldn't because I tied it too tight. And like burped in my mouth. It was just like one of those experiences where I was like very out of body and just like, this sucks. Like,
Yeah.
like, or am I supposed to like this? Because
Yeah.
like, I didn't really know. And then he never talked to me ever again. And it was literally fresh off my haircut. Like 3 days after, I was not feeling good. I was, pretty devastated. And so it was that feeling of just like not feeling worthy, him not talking to me. And so it's come up many times since then with like people either I've dated or I've, had crushes on. And I just kind of like lose myself a little bit in that fact of, well, if they're not talking to me, then they don't care and they don't want to like, you know what I mean? It's very interesting. And what's different about this person is that they do contact me, but it's just in a different way. And it's, if not more valuable.
Dick pics.
Yeah, they're very vivid drawings of his penis. They're works of art. But anyway, it was just like really interesting because I know a lot of us are out there kind of like there are parts of dating or parts of being in a relationship that like are patterns that come up and you're like, why the hell does this bother me? Or why does this keep coming up?
Like I even think without even going back to your childhood, it's annoying if someone's inconsistently texting you. Right?
Yeah, but exactly. But on the other end, he's also communicating with me through FaceTime. Like that
but
is
it's
actually
like his way versus your way.
Exactly. And I'm like, why do I put so much value in like the consistent text thing? And it comes from like, it goes from AOL Instant Messenger to having cell phones and texting. Then my next boyfriend, there was a story there where you know what I mean? It's just like, I kind of find value in that consistent communication throughout the day. When
I think
like
everyone does.
When like, but why? You know what I mean?
Like you're
Like
crushing.
I guess. It's not saying I'm wrong, he's wrong, whatever. It's just kind of like going back to that time, like kind of, because for me, I like was getting emotional about it with him not texting me. Like I didn't really understand why I was getting like upset and it was like taking over my thoughts.
Yeah, and I think it was before you guys had a conversation too.
Yeah.
So it's like you didn't know,
Yeah.
what was going on.
Yeah.
And now you're like aware of what's going on.
Totally.
Yeah, man. I think that's so normal. See, it's funny.
But I'm also 30. I don't know. I go back and forth. I really
think
go
that's
back and
good.
forth. I'm like,
You want to like someone enough to want to hear from them.
yes. And like, I want to be in like a situation where like they feel the same way. And it's just like, it's not that hard, to be honest.
Say no more.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't, but she had a good point where like, we're at very different points in our evolution as people in relationship, like he's at a certain point, I'm at a different point. So it's just very different. You know what I mean? So whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. And I'm like actually feeling much more comfortable with it now. But yeah, it's just interesting to
I
kind
wonder
of pick it apart.
what he would be like at therapy.
Loud.
I know, literally. Hello.
But it's so good. Like I'm just reminded all the time too with like dating and stuff. And like you always hope that the next one is the one, but it's like I am learning so much about like what I want and what I don't want. Like every time I date someone, it's so clear to me now. And now that like I just have a deeper understanding of like how I'm taken care of, whatever you believe, but like, spirit guides and angels and just like asking them for signs and guidance around like people that are around me. And, I truly believe he was brought in for a specific reason. And I know thus far a bunch of reasons. And so it kind of takes the pressure off and it feels much better.
Yeah, I remember. I forget who that was. Bree
who like helped was like, it's don't put pressure to have it be the one.
Yeah, I've heard it so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Yeah.
Yeah. A few people that have been on the pod, like, and just like reading some things, like it makes total sense.
Yeah, and it like allows them to be, you know?
Yeah. Cause like I'm in their life for a reason too. Like, and that's the other thing. And the last thing I'll say is like, you know, I have to remember, and we all have to remember that like, anytime I feel myself kind of morphing a little bit to be what I think that person likes is like a little bit of a red flag for me, not about that person, but about how I'm acting. I'm like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm really good at that.
What do you
acting like someone like being whatever they want me to be.
Yeah.
I'm really good at that.
Yeah. But it's like, it doesn't feel good. And like, I have to remember that like,
for sure.
I am really likable. Like you know what I mean? Like that person would be lucky, but I sit in the mindset of like, I hope they like me more often than not, you know, which is interesting.
It's so funny because I would like, you know, that's so surprising because it's like, what?
Well, exactly. And I kind of have to like get to that place where I like remind myself, I'm like, because I do believe that. It's just, I slip into it because that there's validation in them liking me.
Totally.
Yeah.
What'd you write down on your list?
Oh, my list.
So Lindsay did an exercise of writing down her what she's looking for in the partner. I did this with Justin 6.5 years ago. So I wrote down in my journal, I actually have my journal, like basically what I wanted to like manifest, quote unquote, in a person or in a partner. And I just, it's like, mine's like, he's built like a Greek god.
Justin is.
It is. And I like I forget the rest of it, but my last sentence is, we have fun always.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's every single thing I wrote down on that list. So I definitely feel like there is power in writing down what you're looking for in a partner.
Yeah. I was on the plane to San Francisco and not enough time on a San Francisco from LA flight to do anything productive work-wise. So I was like, ooh, I'm going to go into my Evernote and make a checklist.
Love.
And I titled it Him. Oh God. Wow. Have you ever seen this?
No, you gotta, one time I was like, hey, Justin, let me read this special thing that I wrote and I manifested you. The bitch fell asleep.
Oh my God.
I was like, let me go get my notebook. Went back in the room and he was
You can do it
sleeping.
on the wedding day.
Piece of shit. I will do it on the wedding day.
Okay. Started with some superficial stuff. Insane smile. Meaningful tattoos. Over 6 foot.
Oh, I like meaningful tattoos.
Sexy.
Juicy.
So funny. Doesn't try too hard.
Nice.
Present and engaged when we are together. Super supportive of my career, dreams, and passions. Sees in me what I might not see in myself. Wants to have a family. Financially very stable. Really fit, but not jacked like an idiot. Loves to both adventure and stay in and do nothing. Secretly can sing, and we sing together all the time.
Oh, I love that one.
Secure and confident, loving and compassionate to others, both familiar and strangers. Takes initiative when planning dates and life in general.
Good one.
Isn't afraid to tell me how he feels. He's always respectfully honest with the best intentions. The sex is passionate, adventurous, amazing chemistry that will last forever because we are committed to growth and communication. He sees a therapist for maintenance.
Fuck yeah.
He loves my family. He loves his family. He loves when I wear my cool sneakers. He's super athletic, can play any sport really well. He is humble. He is inquisitive. He's a little bit shy, but totally weird with me. He loves to talk throughout the day for no reason other than to be connected. We have so many inside jokes. We love to go on dates no matter how long we've been together. He loves my body and helps me to love it more and more. He and my friends get along so well, it's crazy. He feels like we've known each other forever, for lifetimes. He loves to surprise me, big ones and small ones. He loves to plan weekend trips for us. I love his butt.
Good one.
I'm a butt girl.
Butts are underrated on guys.
Underrated. He has dope, sexy style, kind of like Venice effortless. His home aesthetic is minimal, but super masculine chic. He lives alone until I move in.
Yes.
He thinks I'm super funny, but he's even funnier. He calls me out lovingly when I'm too worried about silly shit. He really allows me to be in my feminine. He secretly is a really good dancer, but is cute and shy about it. I fit right under his chin. Don't know where that came from.
Love.
We love sing-alongs. He's always encourages me to belt it out. He and my brother are super close, and he serves as a big brother to him. Mornings are our favorite. We wake up slowly, coffee, walks, makeouts, robes, cuddles, laughing. That's it. It's a good one, right?
So beautiful.
Still adding to it. It was so weird. I see him so clearly. It's like freaking me out lately.
Really?
Yeah. It actually also fucks me up because then I'm like, you're not.
No, literally.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's it. But it felt good to like put it down somewhere and have it and just like
Let it go.
But also like remind myself that those things are important to me. And sure, he might not be everything on that list, but it's like, I did put most of that list are things that are really important to me, you know, like, and I don't want to forget that because I think that, you know, either someone likes me and I should like give it a chance or that, you know, I don't know. So it's good. And I took a note from your book.
I love it.
To do it.
I need to do that for my house that I want to manifest.
Yes.
So I want to manifest I want a house next year. I want to have enough money for a down payment for a house in LA.
You will.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to figure out what it looks like because I have kind of a vision, but like not really. I don't really know. It's like, what do I do? Look at Pinterest?
It's true. But I mean, yeah. But I think we have Airbnb too sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
We have friends who are kind of like,
Yeah.
and we're in like even yesterday when we went to Topanga for that interview, I was like, oh, okay, like even just parts of a place that you're like, ooh, vibing with this ceiling.
Yes.
Oh, there's a lot of light here.
God, the trees in Topanga was so nice. The trees was so nice.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
How's your Reiki been going? Did you tell
guys,
everyone
I
that
got
you're
Reiki
doing?
attuned. I don't think I told you guys on Instagram, but so I've wanted to learn more about Reiki and get, do Reiki training since middle of last year. A lot of inspiration from Milana and seeing what she can do. And, there's a lot of things that you can do with Reiki that's like self-healing. And I've always felt, I've known that I'm energetically really like intense. So being able to like control that energy and like work with that energy to make it as like high vibe always as possible, or heal myself or heal those close to me. So I have been studying it since like December. I have a bunch of different books. And then I worked on it a little bit with Justin's mom, who's a Reiki master, over the holidays. And then I just met April of Santa Monica Healing. She's awesome. And I've been working with her. And then I just got attuned Wednesday of this week, which was really cool. It was really intense. Like I definitely felt physically different. I do feel physically a little different. I feel like just a little bit more thoughtful and conscious. It's like if someone was like, hey, you're going to feel weird for 20 days. You're kind of like, oh, I feel weird. You kind of like think about it. You're like, well, I feel weird right now. So I don't know if it's like placebo effect too, but now just doing like the self-healing and doing these specific exercises that I have to do. But I'm really excited. I mean, I really just need to practice more, to trust more, and, do more attunements, do more Reiki so that I can just get better and better. Yeah. But it also means like making sure my vessel is really clean, making sure I'm always being honest. I'm always being like thoughtful. I'm being conscious. I'm treating my body well so that, the life force energy of Reiki is able to like flow through me. And if anyone doesn't know, so Reiki is basically like life force energy. Ray, life force, or Ray is life force, and then Ki is energy. And it was discovered thousands and thousands of years ago. And it's basically for the people. There's no central group that owns, quote unquote, Reiki or teaches Reiki. They want it to be accessible and available to all. But when you become Reiki attuned, you go through a process and you are attuned by a master of Reiki. And they're able to open up channels and portals through symbols and a ritual that allows you to have Reiki, which is, again, life force energy working through you. So basically, it allows you to become a channel so that your hands or your body could be used to channel life force energy through you. So when someone is being healed by Reiki, their ability to be affected by Reiki is directly correlated to their ability to receive life force energy and their ability to be open and their ability to be like accepting of it. So if you don't believe it, if you don't think it's true, you're not going to be able to receive it. But if you're willing, open, and able, then the person that is giving you Reiki will be able to channel that life force energy through you. So you can be, you know, a better Reiki master than others, like I guess because you're more open, you're more experienced, you know hand placements, you know signs, but it is really about the person that is the receiver. And when you're doing it, you know, you never are supposed to lose energy because it's just working through you. You're not giving your own energy. It's life force energy of Reiki that's going through you and it's not your energy. So it's something that should be really giving you energy because you're also having the Reiki energy go through you and you shouldn't lose it. But yeah, it'll be cool. And I'm just excited about it. I think I'll get attuned again and just kind of like keep doing it because you can be attuned many times and it really just like opens you up to different things. And I wanted to do it, you know, before or just to prepare for arrhythmia, you know, so when Lindsay and I are doing plant medicine, I'm able to just more clearly call on my guides or more clearly be able to like disseminate information during that process.
Yeah. I know it's been interesting as we like near our time there.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
This episode actually comes out after.
Yeah.
To be honest, we've had to kind of prepare in advance because we're going to be away most of March.
I'm ready to puke my brains out.
Truly. And poop on your head.
I know. That's why we're getting the colonic before.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been like writing to Mother Aya and like just kind of communicating beforehand. Because I think a lot of people go in and are super scared because it's like it feels unknown.
Yes.
So it's like you calling on your guides and like just like kind of channeling it before it happens and really opening up to it before it happens, I think will be really helpful. And also like, you know, I'm sure you've experienced it too, where I kind of have to like pick and choose who I'm telling about it, you know, because granted, I don't care what anyone thinks. It's more about like their reaction. I have to kind of set a boundary because it is my first time. So I don't want to be anticipating too much, but their judgment of it kind of like can stir up a little anxiety if you let it. So yeah, it's been
I can completely see that.
Interesting. But keeping our diets really clean too has been important.
Trying to make sure our vessels are clear. Yeah, I need to I've stopped caffeine since Monday. Except actually, shit, I just had some fucking silver.
I know.
Damn it.
Tomorrow.
To hell.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm stopping caffeine. And I kind of want to stop supplements too.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
To see what that would be like, just to have like the very clearest. Because also I thought about today, taking so many supplements, that's so much that my liver has to work through every single day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, chill out.
But then some supplements are for the liver. So like, I never know. Do you know what I mean?
Legit.
Dude.
So we'll keep you guys posted. I'm excited to share those episodes with y'all.
Yeah, it's going to be freaking fire. All right. So on today's episode, I'm so excited. Jerry O'Connell is here.
Wow.
I met Jerry when I was living in New York through our friend Seth Herzog, who is a comedian, and he hosts the Sweet comedy show on the Lower East Side every Tuesday night. He's also a writer for Jimmy Fallon. And I adore him. And so anyone that I've met through Seth has always just made me laugh, brought me joy. They're always so down to earth and sweet. And Jerry was one of those people. So we just became, buddies. And he was actually in a show. He's going to kill me for not remembering. He was in a show in New York, and me and a bunch of friends went to see it. And he's so talented and funny. And he's kind of a Renaissance man right now and has always been, but I'm just, it's really fun to see him come back and be himself totally, like he, obviously you guys know him from Stand By Me and tons of other movies and shows.
Video.
And number one, Mariah Carey
what
movies.
music video was that?
Heartbreaker?
Yeah, I don't know
could be
because
wrong.
everyone was like, whoa, ask Jerry about the Mariah Carey music. It was like her biggest song of all time.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I think it's Heartbreaker, but I could be
And
wrong.
then he was in Workaholics.
Yeah, he's been in every fuck
yeah.
ton.
Yeah.
And but I do love how he's, on social media now with his he has 2 beautiful daughters, his wife, like he's on Bravo a bunch. He's on Wendy Williams a ton. He guest hosts on like Live with Kelly a lot. And it's just, he's doing it all and having so much fun doing it, which is such a joy to watch. And I think as like a viewer, as a friend, like that's what it's all about, So we had a blast hanging with him, recording, and this convo is just fun and funny. We talk about my dating life. Didn't plan to talk about that.
Yeah. He talked a lot about his marriage.
Yeah.
To his lovely wife, Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah.
And just was really honest and real and cool and approachable, and talked about working in the industry and told some really fun stories. And he's just a delight to listen to. And he's someone that seems like he just gives and gives and really wants to see other actors and actresses succeed, which is really cool.
He truly is about helping other people without the expectation of getting anything in return. We worked together on Mistresses on ABC, a just very small part in an episode. And he was so sweet and like literally introduced me to everyone. He was directing the episode. He's like, Lindsay, come here, meet so-and-so, like just every turn I took, it was like, come over here. Da-da-da. I literally was on the screen for 4 seconds, but he's that kind of guy. So Jerry, thank you for taking the time and for having such a, lighthearted, fun, warm presence about you. And I know our community is going to freak out. So enjoy this episode. Share it with friends if it made your day. That always means a lot to us. Subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. We read every review. We'll read one on the other side of this episode. Truly, it is the reason why we are able to bring on guests like Jerry and others who are inspiring and funny and doing incredible things in the world.
Yeah, you can find him on Instagram at Mr. Jerry OC. That's MRJERROC. And then we will see y'all on tour. Looking forward to sharing our tour dates with you. They will be coming out very, very soon. We're going to be all over the globe. And
All
we
over
look
the
forward
globe,
to connecting with you guys in person. If you're interested in starting a podcast, in building a podcast, in monetizing a podcast, you can go to yourpodcastpro.com. That's YOUR. podcastpro.com to find all the resources that Lindsay and I have used growing and building almost 30 podcasts. So if you want to create a podcast, that's where you should go.
And if any of your brothers or friends fit the list that I read earlier, you can email.
We should actually
hello at almost 30 podcast.
do like a group list. We should get in the
joking.
secret Facebook group and have everyone share their lists.
Oh, I love that.
We should. So join the secret Facebook group. It's secret Facebook group, secret almost 30 podcast Facebook group on Facebook again.
It's on Facebook.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. Sponsored by Facebook. And let's share your lists.
Yeah, that's
Would love to see it
for your partner or whatever it is. I think it's a really good way to start manifesting.
Doesn't need to be a guy, can be a guy or a girl, him or her or they. So just whoever you're looking for in a partner.
Love you. Bye.
Turn it on.
You want to know what's funny is I'm not really getting any, but I always audition for voiceovers. I do animation, but like commercials, I'm always auditioning. One engineer, like a voiceover agent that I work with, told me to never wear headphones.
Wow.
Yeah, and it might be like an audition thing. Like it changes how you speak
I completely agree.
because you hear yourself, and it makes you more conscious of hearing yourself.
You'd crush a voiceover.
I do like some
right?
animation stuff, but
What's one you've done?
I play Superman in the
That's coming out.
in the Justice League
Or just came out.
films. Listen, you have to be like into Justice League and stuff. I'm not upset that you didn't know that.
Me. Well, you know what I do know? You're in one of my favorite shows ever, Workaholics.
Oh wow, yeah.
I just saw the episode just the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
I had so much fun with those dudes.
Dude, the best.
By the way, I should say I'm Jerry O'Connell. I should introduce
Yeah.
myself
Hi.
here.
We've
Hi, Jared.
introduced
My name
you.
is Jerry. I'm an actor. Oh yeah, I really enjoyed the Workaholics. Those guys were really funny.
Yeah. Was it? Did you did you improv it? Like, what was that like
A little
with
bit.
them?
It's scripted.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's funny to not sort of get in their way, but give them stuff to play off of a little bit. They were really funny.
They're
I
so funny.
really
Wackadoo.
enjoyed those fellas. I really enjoyed
They're
them.
my favorite.
And it was so funny about that show as well because they had a core group of people who worked in that office who they worked with every week and were a part of the show from the beginning. So it was a real family. They really had a good time. It wasn't clocking in and going to work and clocking out. We had fun doing that.
What does it feel like guest starring? Like being kind of like hopping on to these families and they've known you and have watched
It's
you
funny.
for
It is a
long
little
time.
always a bridesmaid, never a bride-ish about it. I'm so sorry. I just got totally distracted. Your cabinets are awesome in your kitchen.
Oh my!
And I didn't mean it bridesmaid, always a
Did
bride
you-
type, by the way.
Did you put those cabinets in?
Yep. Installed them. I painted them myself. No, they're literally probably laminate.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Like it's like a.
I think it's
like
actually a
sheet.
sticker.
So they
It's
were
a
here
sticker. Yeah.
when you got here.
Yeah,
Do you like them as much as I do?
I
or
do like them a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know why
really
I like them.
They're pretty groovy.
like them? Okay.
They're a little like mod, a
Let me
little
just-
let me just
wood.
describe the cabinets for everybody listening. It's like wood laminate, but like really high gloss.
Mhm.
Really high gloss.
And weirdly
I can find out where
modern-
it's from and how they made them and send you the link.
Yeah.
modern in an old-timey wooden way.
Yep.
Really impressive.
It's all about the handles, really. Because if you think if the handles were brass or if they were round, it would be over. Because it's old
But if
timey
the
wood.
cabinet itself was ugly, it'd be over. It's like
Yeah.
they got to work together.
But the wood works with the silver.
Let me also explain like what's going on around here with everyone. There's a lot of scented oils.
Yes.
You just put on some thieves, I'm thinking.
Here, give Jerry some.
Grapefruit.
Some grapefruit stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of refreshing. Midday pick me up.
Yeah. It does smell good.
Isn't it good?
No, it's a lot of crystals around here.
Yeah.
I guess that's sage or some sort of
Oh, the Palo Santos that you thought we could
herb.
smoke.
Palo Santos. I thought for sure it was marijuana
Mm.
because it was in an ashtray type thing.
Yeah.
And I thought you were just like, hey, are we gonna have fun in this
He
podcast?
He showed up.
Or-
I was the only one here. He's
or
like,
what?
what's going on here?
Yeah, dude. I feel bad for the dudes when they come. It's all like smelly. You're like, hello.
No, but your feng shui is really nice in this place. It's
Yeah.
really cute. I'm really into it.
Oh, thanks.
You have a great aesthetic.
Thank you. Have you gotten into aesthetic? Like, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know.
What's
Guys
your
are-
cribbo like?
You know, I don't. My wife does all of it.
Yeah.
And my wife
She's so
prefers me
talented.
not to be involved with that stuff. The only thing I complain about is cost.
Mhm.
And then I become that Debbie Downer guy who's like, you can't do this, it's too expensive. And then we fight about it. And then we end up spending the extra money anyway.
Of course.
And I think to myself, why did there was no reason to even fight about it.
Mm.
But then we like go into debt and then we're like in bankruptcy court. And then that comes out publicly. And
No
then everyone's
way.
like, oh, I'm kidding. I'm making all this
I
up.
don't know. I'm like, dude, I don't know, man.
No, I've pretty good credit. I'm pretty proud of my credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty weird that way. Like if I get a parking ticket, I pay it immediately.
Really?
Do any celebrities have bad credit? I know
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a really
Yeah.
weird question.
No,
Yeah.
a lot of
Sorry,
of
that's a very
celebrities
weird
go through
thing.
credit issues a lot.
I think it's like with the taxes. Like there's a lot of tax evasion stuff
A lot
too,
of tax evasion.
where
Mm.
people get in trouble for like not paying taxes because it's like you make, you're like, oh, I made $50 million on that movie, and you pay 24 in taxes, and you're like, it's weird.
No, there are a lot of celebrities always getting in trouble for tax stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I'm always H&R Block every March.
Is your
Really?
You don't have like
I have an
Oh, okay.
account.
I was gonna say,
account.
I was like, Jerry's not at H&R.
I go to the block.
Actually,
I
but
bring
you would
all my
be such
receipts.
a
Yeah,
you and an H&R Block, like you were the
Whoa,
H&R Block
commercial.
guy.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. I think that's John Hamm. Doesn't he do all the H&R Block stuff?
John Hamm, who?
Yeah.
This
John
is the
Schwam.
season for that. No, we were talking about guest stars. I don't want to get off topic here for a second. It's funny. It takes a special, you got to really like know your place when you're a guest star. Because, sort of as an actor, it's sort of like, it's inherent to be like, I got to make my mark here. I got to be funny. I got to make sure this is memorable. I got to make sure I pop. And sometimes when you do like a workaholic show, it's really better to enhance whoever's world you're going into. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
because, you guest star on a show like Workaholics, and I'm a fan of that show. Those three guys are going to bring the funny. And as a guest star, it's sort of your job to make sure they get those opportunities. You almost have to like lob them softball pitches, It's interesting, but it's a lot of fun. I bounce in and out of a lot of shows. I bounce on a show called Billions, which is really fun. It's just an honor to sit there and watch Paul Giamatti act or Damian Lewis act. It's just incredible. Maggie Siff, Malin Ackerman, all of them. And it's so fun. They've given me scenes with everyone. And I mean, I guess it's because I'm very, I am giving as an actor, you know what I'm saying? Like no one went, that guy made it difficult for me, but when you're sitting across from Paul Giamatti, I mean, you're just thinking, how do I make it easy for that person, But I do a lot of guest stuff. I also, Lindsay knows this. You can text me and there's a good chance I'll show up. So I think it has a lot to do with also
being giving.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you are so giving. And, even when you were directing the episode of Mistresses that I was in.
Right. Listen, backstory. I directed an episode.
Backstory.
That Lindsay had a speaking role in. Very exciting. At the end of the day, you saw me panicked a little bit. But we got some great stuff, and I'm also a big believer in like that karmic stuff, and like helping friends, coming around. We met through a mutual friend of ours, Seth Herzog, who has a comedy show in New York called Sweet on Tuesday nights. Everybody should go to up there in New York. It's so funny.
It's a staple.
Anytime he calls me up, I'm always trying to help him out. I just think it's a good thing to sort of give it out there,
Who were some people early on in your career that like supported you and were helpful for you?
Let me think about that. Well, first of all, I was in Stand By Me when I was a kid. For those who don't know, it was a movie about four boys, sort of like an 80s iconic movie.
Yep.
About four boys who go to find a dead body. And you know what? It was the other actors in that movie, because they were a little bit older. Corey Feldman, River Phoenix, God rest his soul, and Will Wheaton. And they were teenagers, and I was not. I was 11. And they were really helpful. And even like simple things like, dopey things like, this is a mark, you got to stand on it, keep acting even though you don't have lines, as simple as dopey as that sounds, like I didn't know, when you're off camera, go close to the camera so that your eye line is close to the camera, don't make noise off camera, don't overlap with sound, just stuff like that. They were really giving to me, I'd say Rob Reiner and the guy who produced it, Andy Scheinman, really, as I got older, stayed in touch with me, checked in on me. I just had lunch with the producer of Stand By Me, Andy Scheinman, a couple weeks ago here in LA. So just really so nice.
Yeah.
So giving. I mean,
support from like the beginning, especially at like an impressionable age when it's your first role and it's really big and you have these boys that are like telling you and helping you is really important.
Oh man, it was really like, and it's funny. I just have everlasting friendships with those people, I mean, it's just like, I just have everlasting friendships with them. And I got to say, like Rob Reiner and Andrew Scheinman, who produced and directed Stand By Me, like they really stay in touch with me. I'm pretty bad about staying in touch with people. They're like, I guess it was a special thing for them as well, but it was so nice, I'm sorry. I wish I had a little more dirt for you guys.
No, we don't want dirt.
No, I wish I could give you some like nasty stuff.
No,
some real
we
good,
don't need dirt or
dirty,
nasty
filthy, nasty
But you've like
stuff.
kind of maintained this like super nice, grounded, just like humanness to you, like in a world that like I think a lot of people see as maybe quote unquote fake or just a lot. And was it always that easy? Like
it's pretty fake. I mean, I'm not. That's a routine that I pull. I'm a terrible person.
Yeah,
I'm evil. In my real personal life, it's crazy. I mean, I'm a dreadful person. You know what it is? I'm married. I've been married for a long time. I mean, married for 12 years now.
Whoa.
And I mean, I know that's like, I'm sure there are some people who are like, 12 years ain't nothing. We've been married for 50 years. But I mean, I'm shocked I've been married that long. I mean, in LA, that's
forever.
Long
an eternity.
And you guys are both big stars, like
Huge stars.
huge A-list celebrity.
It's crazy. So I think you get sort of a wholesome, if you stay married for long enough, I think you get sort of a wholesome sort of,
Women find ways to ground you. we'll ground your ass if you get too big.
But it's fun. It's really fun being married. I gotta say,
tell us more.
I didn't want to get married when I got married. I don't want to say I didn't want to get married. I was 33, which is kind of young,
That's ripe. I mean, for normal and middle America, that's.
Yeah, but we live in LA.
I think
Wouldn't you
LA,
say
that's
that's on the younger
LA.
side.
Yes.
I was the first of any of my friends to get married. My generation of friends, there was a group of about, 6 of us, guys who ran around Hollywood together in
red Corvette
in the 2000s,
White t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I was the first one to get married. And I mean, literally it happened. I was dating my wife and we kept dating each other. And I mean, the next step was either, get married or stop dating. And I felt very fortunate that my wife was dating me. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I don't want to let her go. Right. I mean, before she realizes what a mistake this is for her, what a downgrade this is for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's how it happened. There's nothing really more.
How long were you dating for?
For 3 years.
Oh, that's a good amount of time, especially, I mean, in LA too.
It's funny. I had a buddy of mine who was older and married, and I remember asking him, and he went, 3 years is a good amount. And also, like, you don't. No, I remember like saying, like, am I doing this too soon? And he was like, no.
They're so funny. One guy's like, 3 years is good. You're like, all right, well, let's get married.
Well, no, he's a guy I respect. He's a guy who is married. He's a guy who I respect work-wise, personally, and professionally. And he said, no, 3 years is a good amount. And I remember thinking, okay, well, then I'll do it. All right, that'll be that. But you know what? I'm really glad I did. It's funny. Having kids is a lot of fun.
Oh gosh.
It's a trip.
How soon did you have kids? What is the timeline?
Pretty immediately.
Cool.
That was not my call. That was my wife's call. And not to generalize or stereotype, but I think my wife was in her early 30s. We were both in our early 30s or close to mid 30s. And I think it was time, and it's really, when you first have kids, it's hell.
I mean, 2 at once though. Like
what's funny is I remember I was in about month 9 and I worked with this older lady and she said, how's everything at home? And I went, oh man, these kids are, am I allowed to curse here?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
These kids are fucking crazy. They're crazy. Like it's nuts. And she went, hey, if you make it to about 4 years old, you're going to stay married. And I went, really? And she said, we didn't make it to 3, my ex-husband and I. And she said, it's really tough on a relationship. And I really thought about that when my kids were babies, because you're literally like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm out of here.
Totally.
It's crazy. And it's crazy.
Especially, with 2.
You just fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're sleepy. You're tired.
Crazy.
Did you have a little bit of help? Like, were you able to, like a night nurse or something like that? Were you able to
in
sleep?
the beginning, we had what they call a night nurse, but just for weeks,
Yeah.
Someone who this is so embarrassing, really teaches you and I'm sure a grandparent can do this, but we didn't have any grandparents. Teaches you how to swaddle,
Totally.
teaches you how to because I didn't know anything. I would spend an hour just putting my kids in the baby seat in the car because I thought for sure I wasn't doing it right. And they're just blobs. They're just sitting there sort of enjoying it all,
Mm-hmm.
But then after a few months, we got really good at it,
Yeah.
Really good at changing diapers. Really good at it. It was fun, but I mean,
I'm professional. Sorry.
We have dogs as well. And it's really tough. I mean, this is going to be terrible and people are going to be upset that I'm comparing my children to dogs. But we have dogs, and we always have had dogs. And when you have to leave town to go work on something, like the first thought was always like, what are we going to do with the dog? Like, we got to do something with the dogs. Do we get someone to stay with the dogs? Do we put the dogs in the doggy daycare? Right. Do we put them in the doggy daycare? What will they like better? Sometimes, the one dog gets stressed out at doggy daycare. We can tell. So maybe we should have someone here. But if someone's here and we're not here, are they going to run away? It's kind of even more intense when you have children, because it's like
A little bit.
do we take them out of school? Do we put them in a new school? Do we get help where we're going? I'm going to be working all the time. So there's just, I know this is like, and everyone's going to make fun of me on your message boards, and it's fine, but it just becomes like the decisions you become an adult,
Yeah.
I'm like an adult now.
Yeah. Do you feel like that? Like in your soul?
Yeah, I feel like an adult.
Wow.
I feel like a dad.
Totally.
I remember I was driving our teenage babysitter home one day, one night. I went out with my wife and we came home, and the teenage babysitter was like watching TV. And then I was like, okay, let me take you home. And I was driving her home, and I was like, man, I'm an adult. Like,
Like nothing more would make me feel like an adult.
right. And I was just like,
I used to babysit. So it'd be like, oh,
and did like dads drive you home?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, well, I'll drive you home. And I was driving her. And then I was like, oh gosh, like I was like, even like, maybe I should put it on like Kiss FM or something, like pop music. Cause she's like a teenager. And I was like, oh gosh, let me take it off of.
Like, how about that new
I had it
Bruno
on
Mars?
I had it on like news or like Jack FM or like I had it on The Wave or whatever. It's like light rock.
I'm cooler than that.
I don't know, on the classical station, the anti-road rage station. And I was so, I was like, she's like, it's okay, Mr. O'Connell. I don't have to listen to 97 Wow.
Summer is right around the corner, not to scare you, but it's actually exciting when you have body and skin care like Kopari Beauty. All right, so for me, it starts in the shower. I'm lathering up with their coconut shower oil, leaves my skin feeling smooth, moisturized. And then if I'm going out and I'm showing a little bit of leg, or if I'm going to the beach, I use the Coconut Body Glow, which is like this shimmery, delicious oil that you can put anywhere that you want a little extra glow. It has this natural pearlescent mineral in the body glow, and it just works so well. And if you're looking to exfoliate your skin for the summer so that your sunless tanner goes on smooth, we highly recommend the Coconut Crush body scrub that you can use in the shower. It's delicious. Whoa. It has crushed up coconut shells in it. It's so fine, works unbelievably well. So for body care, skin care, personal care, sun care, and other multitaskers, you can go to koparibeauty.com. You can use our code almost30 for 20% off. So that's Kopari Beauty, KOPARI beauty.com. Use our code almost30 for 20% off. While I don't have my own dog yet, one day, a ton of my friends are dog lovers with these adorable, amazing dogs, and it brings me so much joy to gift them BarkBox. So BarkBox is a dog crazy, dog obsessed company, and they celebrate the special connection between you and your dog. So they've created a monthly gift that both you and your dog cannot wait to open. So this is how it works. It's really awesome. You let them know your dog's size, and they curate a box to meet your dog's needs. And you can change the dog's size at any time if your puppy grows to be a big dog, but you choose a plan. 1, 6, or 12-month plans are available. There's free shipping to anywhere in the US. And in these boxes, you'll find the cutest, innovative toys, the best all-natural treats and chews. And all of these treats are grain-free, never contain soy, wheat, or corn. All meat is sourced in the USA, and all treats are made in the USA and Canada. Just high quality across the board. So we're really excited to be partnering with BarkBox. I know a buttload of our listeners are dog lovers. So give this to your own dog, or maybe a friend who has a dog that they love so much. This would just make their day. So you can go to barkbox.com/almost30 to get a month free of BarkBox when you sign up for a 6 or 12-month membership. Free shipping, always, but choose a plan. 1, 6, and 12 months are available, but with our unique link, barkbox.com/almost30. You can get a free month of BarkBox when you sign up for a 6 or 12-month membership. Like, were you ready? I mean, did you always want to be a dad?
I mean, I knew it was in the cards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And not so much that I had a burning desire to be with children. It's so crazy. I had one buddy, his whole routine when he would date would be to say, oh, I can't wait to have a family. I can't wait to have kids. And I'd be like, dude, shut up. Like, first of all, it's like I found it to be leading people on.
100.
First of all.
Yes.
Of course. Because he knows our ovaries like pulsate.
I used to call it, and we were like, I mean, granted, we were in our 20s, so it wasn't like really like it but
a little too far-fetched.
It was but he would always like talk about like wanting to start a family, and he's ready. He just wants to have as many kids. And I used to call it with my other friends the ha fooled you, because he'd inevitably stop dating that person. And I'd be like, I don't think I ever confronted him, but in my head I'd be like, why were you saying that, man?
Yeah.
Like, that was not right.
And then they break up and he's like, she's crazy.
Literally. I don't know if there's any of that. Maybe let me. No,
he's like, she's crazy. She want to move too fast.
Right.
He's like,
just really like,
just can't wait for like 5 kids.
Want me to start like having a family like right now. I'm not ready for that.
I'm ready to walk home to my wife.
I thought it was such a strange.
I've never
move.
gotten that. I'll tell you that much.
Oh my God. I've been dumped and they're like, if I was a little older, I would marry you. But I'm dumping you now.
Oh,
like, okay. Sure.
I will tell you one funny thing about having kids is I spent my entire adult life trying not to have children. And let me try and say this without being graphic or offensive.
No, women do it too.
I tried to make sure at all costs no one would ever get pregnant.
Well, especially you're like someone in the public eye, you know.
But you know what? I had an uncle who had a child as a teenager, and when I moved to LA, he was like, "Hey, listen, Jerry, whatever you do, don't get anybody pregnant. All right? I'm serious. Like,
look at my son. He's a piece of shit."
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, you get somebody pregnant, that's it. You know, that's like a situation you got to deal with. Just whatever you do, like, make sure you don't get anybody pregnant. You don't get yourself in that kind of trouble. All right. That's like the most important thing. And like, I really like moving to LA as a 21-year-old, I was really like, don't get anybody pregnant. Don't get anybody pregnant. So
you're like tripling down on.
I know. You walk into audition, you're like,
it's a bummer, because it's like a bummer, you know, like you shouldn't be thinking about that in amorous sort of situations. You should be thinking the opposite of that, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It stressed me out a lot.
Aww.
It's the fact that like when I was intimate with anyone, all I could think of was
I actually never thought about that.
Was
like,
my uncle going, hey, just do whatever you do. Don't get anybody pregnant. Just don't. Like, I'm telling you, it's a situation.
You're like, bone her down.
And I'm trying to like, I'm trying to like
present.
just trying to be as like into the moment as possible. And it just takes you right out. The funny thing is when you get married and you decide to have children, just suddenly trying to get someone pregnant is that's a weird mind fuck, because
wow.
I had never done that, trying to get someone pregnant.
That's interesting.
I've been like, yeah, it's like a reprogramming. Honestly,
it was like I had to reprogram myself. I mean, literally,
it's almost different take yourself out of the moment.
I had to go
situation.
to the Apple store.
Yeah.
It had to be a hard reset.
Yep.
They had to like erase all the apps
I'm gonna say let it loose
from my brain.
Your uncle.
They had to install
turbojets.
Yeah.
And we on. Wow.
Funny.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So for 12 years marriage, what do you think is one of the secrets to your success together?
Wow, I can't believe I'm giving marriage advice. This is so funny. We did go to couples therapy a lot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you honestly, it's just not to fight. It's really like, it's just not to fight. There's no reason to fight. I don't even know why. If you're fighting a lot, then you should probably break up. But I really don't fight. And my wife will bait me. Like, people bait each other, you know?
Yeah.
My wife will throw out a couple of jabs, and not literally like jabs, you know, like fighty, you know, like
not abusive.
Figurative jabs. And I just don't bite. I just don't get into fights. I just don't do it. I got to tell you, even like things like money. I mean, we were talking about like redecorating houses and stuff, and like budgets, buying cars. I don't even get into it. Well, I know this is going to make me sound passive and stuff, but maybe I say something once, like, "Are you sure we should do that?" And if my wife is insistent on it, I go, "Okay. I mean, all right, whatever you want." And I just won't. It's really freeing.
Yeah.
It really is freeing.
Did you learn that at therapy? Or did you just come to that on your own?
I think I did.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy was really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of hated it because the therapist and my wife would always make me cry about my mom. So I was like, I'm out of here. Like, every session would just be me crying about my mom.
Or
and I'd
you
be
go
like,
in, you're like, I'm not going to cry today. And then you're like, what?
No, I'd do it. And then I'd be like, fuck you. You guys did it again. I'm out of here. I'll be in the car.
God.
And then finally I stopped doing it. I was like, all right, I'm not doing it anymore. But honestly, what I got out of therapy is just don't fight. Things are going to anger you, and you're going to have the thoughts to say, are you insane? Are you insane? Are you not are you on a different like wavelength than the rest of the world? But if I don't say it, then we never fight.
Wow.
And I got to say, it's not like a pent up thing. It's like, I'll tell you what's really satisfying is if it doesn't work out for my wife.
Yo.
My wife then knows that I was correct earlier. And when you don't say anything about it,
You're a king.
The best.
it makes your argument even better.
And then you don't even say anything ever. And you're just like,
It's funny. As stupid as this sounds, the key is to not fight. And there are triggers every waking moment of a relationship to fight. Every waking moment.
mm-hmm. But if things are like, so if something is really important to you, like, how do you navigate that?
Yeah.
And I don't mean these things aren't important to you. I'm just saying, I'm sure you have to kind of pick and choose.
Let me think what the last time we fought was. I mean, this is so stupid. This is so stupid.
I love it.
We go on a hike. We go on hikes with our dogs. We have dogs, okay? We have a couple of dogs who are younger, puppies. And my wife doesn't like to leash them. She likes to train them with like food and like not leashing, and thinks if they're not leashed, then they'll be free and that's their natural habitat. And I'm like, you got to leash those dogs because they're going to run away. And train them now with the leash. And then, you know, when they're older and they really get it, then you can take them off the leash. But now I'm telling you, leash them. And my wife is like, no, we're not doing that. And I said it once and that was it. So we go on the hike and of course the dogs run away. And this is like last week in LA when it was pouring with rain. So it starts torrentially pouring and we're looking for our dogs in the wilderness for like a half hour. And like, I wanted to say like this is like, you did, this is on you. By the way, it happened twice. And I just didn't have to say anything. It just, because I mean, I was 110, I was 1000% correct. I mean, we got the dogs back.
And was anything said? Like,
you just understood?
I don't think anything was said. No.
She's like, gotta try harder with the non-leashing.
Right. So that's the last fight we had. And I got to tell you, I can't remember.
I think it's so cool too. I mean, you have 2 daughters, and
you know what? Let me interrupt also. Try not to get drunk with each other. Drinking.
We talk about it a lot.
Drinking really fucks you up. I mean, it makes you aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a couple who gets drunk together, you're going to be volatile with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen, sometimes that's exciting. Listen,
yeah.
We all saw A Star Is Born. Come on, man, you know. But, you know, like when we really party together, we become volatile with each other. So I make sure to, when I see my wife is going hard, to not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everyone you see on the corner in like New York crying and fighting is like drunk. You know, couples at the bar. It's
Isn't
like
it so crazy? Isn't it so crazy?
yeah, like literally,
Yeah.
guy turns his head to the left, and you know she's upset because it's like
and it's so
insane.
seeing insane drunken fights.
Is
That's the only time I would fight with my boyfriend, is when he was drinking, and then I would drink because I didn't want to see him drinking, or
Yeah.
like experience him drinking.
Right.
And it just gets so.
and then
it's
you're
so
waiting for an
fucked.
Uber, and then it's just
And
and then
why
it's
did you call
on.
me?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
everything just becomes
Oh my
so
God.
fucking
Don't
dramatic.
touch me! Touch me! Get off me!
Or you
And then
like
you're,
run
like,
away and
watching
then
this.
you're like waiting for them to come.
Yeah, you're like,
Why are you following me?
Yeah,
I told
honestly, I told you to get the fuck away from me, but don't. Literally,
so bad.
I've been there a lot. Yeah, drinking. I've noticed that too. Since I don't really drink, I'm like, dude, I don't like miss those days of being at the club or like being out and being tipsy with them and being wondering what they're doing. What I don't know. I just that feeling.
Well,
of,
I don't want to say the club isn't super fun. I think the club is fun.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, we're talking
drinking.
strictly if you're in a relationship with someone,
Yeah.
if you're both coming home drunk, if you're both getting drunk together, there's a good chance a fight is going to happen. It just happens,
totally.
Tell me about you ladies. Are you guys like swiping away? Like, what's the deal? Like, how does it work these days?
Krista's in a relationship. They've been together for 5 years.
Mhm.
Wow.
Justin's the best.
Mhm.
He such a big part of like the support behind Almost 30. Shout out Jay. I'm single. I was swiping more in New York. I did a little bit in LA, and I've met some actually really awesome people.
Man.
Not dating anymore, but
Why are you not dating anymore?
it just wasn't right. If we want to get specific, no one's made me laugh. To be completely honest,
That's
and
a
like
big
that's
problem.
usually
Number one.
Usually that's the one thing that's missing.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah,
that's so
but like,
true,
I
dude.
also know I had stuff to work on. Like I'm in therapy, like, just kind of thinking more thoughtfully about like what I'm bringing to the relationship. And then also what I'm sometimes I go like this when I talk about certain like relationship things that I've had, because I just haven't let them in, if that makes sense, and I beyond a certain point, because I don't want to let them down. I don't want to make them upset if they get a little too deep. So that's like kind of what I'm battling with like dating is not worrying too much about disappointing or hurting the other person.
Whoa.
I know. Sorry, you asked.
What about disappointing or hurting them?
Meaning like if it doesn't work out. So like, for example, if I went on like 4 dates with a guy recently,
Yeah.
and it got to the point where I was like, okay, like I'm at a point where I know that this really isn't something that I want to pursue any further. 4 was actually a lot though. 4 was a lot for me. But normally,
But it happens to on the other end too. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like,
So hold on a second. First date is what? A drink? A coffee?
actually, he was sober. So yeah, it was a coffee.
Second date is
Hike.
hike.
that's
Mhm.
LA.
2 different cars or 1 car?
Oh.
He picked me up. It was one
Yeah.
car.
Oh.
Post hike, where did we go?
We got a coffee.
Got a coffee. Post hike. I'm
No.
sorry if this is offensive or rude in any way.
No,
Was there any attempt to like, I'm just going to take a quick shower. Can I use your shower?
No, we didn't come. Yeah, we didn't have
That's
an
a good one.
opportunity for
And
that.
none of
but
that
good,
stuff.
But good call.
Okay. He dropped you off?
Uh-huh.
Have we made out at this point?
Not yet. Not at that point. Mhm.
Second date after a hike, there was no makeout?
I think I don't make out.
That could have been
I
a lean over.
normally sleep
That
with someone
could've
on the
been-
second date, so that was pretty good for me.
That could have been a lean over in the car and
It
a
could have
makeout
been,
sesh.
but I wasn't going to do it.
You were not going to respond to the makeout?
Oh no, I wasn't going to initiate it.
Well, of course not.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Oh, I was waiting. I would have been open to it for sure. Yeah.
so he didn't. Why are you?
Just like him leaning over the console, like
It was a big truck, so that console was
Eh.
huge.
date. It's just so that's the
But
thing.
third date, we did make out. He took me out to dinner. We we went on little Malibu bluffs and like I don't know. It was really cute. It was so cute.
No, this
and he
is
leaned over and he
fascinating.
made out. It was so sweet.
Nice.
And that was it. And he took me home.
Okay.
Again, still hadn't laughed at that point. Had little giggles, but like I just
Haven't laughed.
meaning like
That's a problem. Yeah,
That's a huge
do you know
problem.
that's
do you
a
know what
problem.
I'm saying? Like
No,
it's
100%.
it's that like
Listen, you go out with somebody, you got to laugh. I mean,
100.
come on. What were you talking about? Like politics or something? What were
I
you
mean,
talking about?
We were talking about, he's creative, he's in production, so just kind of like his work about
work.
a
Yeah.
little
like-
bit about work, a little bit about work.
Sure.
Me, I was mainly asking a lot of questions. Like he grew up here in LA, he was a party boy, now he's sober. Like kind of what that
what
was
does a
all
party
about.
boy mean? Like going to clubs and stuff?
Yeah, I think he was like a lot of it. He went to a boarding school, so his friends were like a lot of rich kids who had a lot of money, and they would drink and do drugs at their parents, whatever.
Sick.
Sick. But he got, he's. I mean, truly hoping he's not listening.
Tale as old
But
as time.
but just a little too serious.
Yeah, and I'm actually curious. Like I've had gone on a lot of dates with guys who are sober, and nothing against it whatsoever. But I do think I have some things to work on in terms of like how I'm receiving their energy, because a lot of it's about like their recovery or their. I can't describe it because I've never been in AA. I don't know what
Did he
that's
talk
like.
about being sober a lot?
No, but yeah, like yes and no. Like a lot of what he does is like lead meetings and like you know what I mean, which is great. Fourth date, he came over. We made dinner,
Okay.
and I swear to you, and I've
This sounds.
talked about.
I'm sorry, Lindsay. This sounds like it's on.
I know. So tell us
Was
what
it
you
a
were
little-
wearing, Lindsay. What were
Was it
you
a little
wearing?
fresh direct, or like what did
I
we do?
was-
Did we go shopping or?
He went shopping. I went shopping. I was in charge of like one part of it. He was in charge of the main part of the dinner.
I'm so sorry, but let's get into details. You were in charge of the
Like what? Salmon?
Vegetable.
Salmon fillet?
vegetables,
course.
Okay.
and he was in charge of the.
He made this pasta dish that was really
Oh
good.
yeah,
It was
okay.
really good.
Carbs,
Carbs.
energy.
Mm.
Okay.
It was a test for me. I'm sure he's like, if this bitch eats pasta.
Literally
we
suck
own.
my dick. If you're trying to test me with food, suck my dick.
You cooked it here in the kitchen in the in the laminated wood cabineted kitchen.
Lots of sense.
Was it fun cooking with
You
him?
know-
I mean, I've never actually cooked on a date. I mean, I would
was
imagine is it almost like a movie like montage, like chopping up things and like excuse me, and like sexy like brushing past each other and
Yeah,
stuff.
like him standing behind her
He was,
chopping.
and he was really trying, and he was really like, he was being, like, I mean, she's gonna pass out. Anyway, we can move through this part.
No, I want to go through it, but I just kind of puke
Do you
thinking
think
about
this is boring?
when you're
'Cause
no,
I'm pretty fascinated by
no,
this.
it's fascinating, and
So-
the part where you're like,
So okay, so I
By the way, if it's uncomfortable, then we're doing something right.
yeah, that's true.
your body, like my body tells me everything,
Okay.
and I'm very touchy feely. If
Sure.
I am into it, I'm like, huh.
yeah.
And he was being so sweet and like kind of touchy feely in the right ways.
So
And
hold
I
on a
was like
second.
this.
Touchy feely. Hold on a second. Touchy feely, like you were chopping up parsley,
Yeah.
and he would like lean around you and like touch your hands
And
and,
he-
like help you chop. Is that touchy feely?
No, he would cut like for example, he would have like he kind of turned to me and he like pulled me in and like gave me a kiss.
I'm so sorry. That would drive me crazy too. I mean, it's honestly, it's
Thinking
like
about a guy that you don't like.
well, it's actually,
Because if it's
almost like
happening
a,
to Lindsay, it's happening to me too. And I can't think about
Her
it.
eyes are watering. She's
it's
gagging.
almost like a parody of a date and what a date
it
is
was
supposed to be.
completely.
Oh.
And then we sat down, and I swear to you, and we like sat on the floor because I was like, whatever, because this is set up here because I'm a
Are you
normal
playing
human being.
music?
No, because we turned on the Fire Festival documentary.
Oh, okay. Things just got interesting.
So like we're
I mean,
eating.
did
but
you guys talk about that for hours? Because
Yeah.
I have not stopped talking about
Truly.
that with my wife.
Let's talk
Well,
about it.
was a safe bet for me because I was like, oh, this is chock full of shit that
Yeah.
I could like kind of
Talk about.
talk
Yeah.
about, And it was good. It's just like the body language thing. He was like reaching to put his hand around me and like rubbing my back, and I was literally like, it was weird for me, but I didn't want to. I could have reciprocated, but I was like, that's gonna send the wrong message. So yeah, and then
Wow, you were out of there.
I know, but
So were you regretful that you allowed that cooking date to happen?
No, definitely not. Because then after the date, just to
Nothing happened on this date. You're
Besides
you,
making
you,
it- yeah,
you,
a kiss.
you guys are at first base
Yes.
on the fourth date.
just make out, which is
That
really
is-
good for me. I swear to God, I've been on a journey when it comes to that shit. So that's really good for me.
Yeah. But that also shows how interested. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, after the date, he left and I was just thinking like, okay, within, the next few days, I'm going to have a conversation with him, just about
Why can't you
how
just
I'm feeling.
ghost him?
No.
Oh, you're sweet.
Yeah, you're sweet.
Why can't you just
Thanks for the permission, but
delete?
I kind of believe in,
Why don't
we
you just
don't run
block-
in the same circles,
Yeah.
but he I would definitely see him somewhere.
Just block him.
But anyway, I was thinking about how I was gonna say this to him, and then the next day he ends up calling me and telling me that he wasn't into it.
He wasn't into it.
Yeah, because I wasn't into it, but he wasn't into it, I guess.
Were you relieved?
I was relieved, but also ego was a little butthurt for zero reason other
that's
than
so funny
he did it first.
because you were on the wrong side of goodbye. Hilarious.
Yes, exactly.
Isn't
And
you know
I also-
what? Let me tell you something. Life is 1% what happens to you and 99% how you react to it.
Amen, brother.
Think about that.
Amen.
You did not want to be with that dude, but because he called you up and said,
Mhm.
I'm not that into you, you got upset. Crazy. That was your reaction to it.
For
Hilarious.
0.5 seconds. I really had a moment.
Off.
I think he was tipped off.
Hilarious.
But it was actually really great. We had a great conversation, and I'm so grateful that he did that because it was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I just noticed my ego was like, hey. Raise your hand if time is one of your most precious assets. I am really digging companies that save me time. Simple Contacts is one of them, and it is the most convenient way to renew my contact lens prescription and reorder my brand of contacts from anywhere in minutes, literally on the road. And I've done this twice, which I should have learned my lesson when I ran out of contacts. But I ordered them from the road and they got to my next destination in no time. Customer service was so on point, so helpful. It's vision care for the 21st century. So how it works, you need to renew your prescription. All right. You just take 5 minutes. Simple Contacts has a vision test online and it will be reviewed by a licensed doctor. And then you receive a renewed prescription and reorder your contacts. All you need is your current contacts, an internet connection, and 10 feet of space. Even if you're totally out of contacts, they've got an option for you. So it's really, really easy, but just a disclaimer, this isn't a replacement for your periodic full eye health exam. So they only test that your current prescription still helps you see 20/20, and then they renew that prescription. So they don't write completely new prescriptions or give you an exam for your eye health. But this is so convenient. So if your prescription hasn't changed, they just ship them on to you. We're really, really excited to be partnering with Simple Contacts and to give you a discount. So you can go to simplecontacts.com/almost and enter the code ALMOST, ALMOST, at checkout, and you'll get $20 off on your lenses. So you're saving $20 by going to simplecontacts.com/almost or entering the code ALMOST at checkout. One way that I'm really keeping to my routine, no matter where I am, I know you all are traveling, raising kids, starting a business, and it's really important to feel grounded in your routine. And Hum Nutrition really helps me to feel my best from the inside out. And some of my favorites right now, Moody Bird. Moody Bird is incredible. It's like your monthly ally versus your PMS. And it has dong quai and chasteberry. So it's really important. These herbs are super helpful during that time of the month. They help to really reduce my bloat and any cramps that I have. And honestly, I think it's helped me to become more regular. So I'm really loving Moody Bird. I also am obsessed with the Glow Sweet Glow. They are vegan gummies for skin hydration. So I'm really obsessed with being dewy all the time. It stimulates collagen production. It's delicious. It's like a tangerine flavor. And it has low molecular hyaluronic acid, which helps keep your skin moist. and keeping that moisture locked in. So I really love Glow Sweet Glow. There's so many products on humnutrition.com, and you can take a simple, quick quiz, and it will be reviewed by a certified nutritionist, and they will recommend 3 to 5 products to help you get started. And with our code almost30, you can get 15% off your first purchase. So that's humnutrition.com, HUM nutrition.com. Use our code almost30 for 15% off your first purchase.
I have been dumped once in my life, once. And I was living here in Hollywood, and I was seeing a young lady who lived 2 streets over from me, up in the hill. And it was I could actually get to her house if I cut through 2 apartment complexes. Like I climb a fence.
Yeah.
She's like, why don't you just go the normal way?
Or I could drive down to Sunset and then go back up. But I was, I'm an actor in LA. You're going through abject unemployment. I'm just sitting in my apartment, and I had been like seeing this girl. I had seen her a few times, a number of times. We'd gone out a lot of times, actually. And she lived 2 blocks from me. It was great. It was fun.
That's fun.
And she called me up one afternoon and said, I want you to come over to my house right now. And I was like, I'm there. And I ran down my street, hopped the fence in the apartment complex, ran to the other street, hopped the next apartment complex, got to her block, and then I had to run like up a hill. And those hills are very steep.
So steep.
Like totally out of breath, heart attack. Get up there. I'm like disrobing as I get there. And she was like, whoa, stop. I need you to sit down. And like I sat down and I was like, yeah. And she was like, I don't think I can see you anymore. And I was like, what? And she was like, I know this is, and I started laughing. I was like, oh my gosh. And she was like, why are you saying that? And she was like, it's going to be okay. And I was like, it's totally going to be okay. It's going to be great. Hey, listen, I'm 2 blocks from you. Let's stay in touch. I'm so sorry. And I could not stop laughing because I couldn't stop laughing because I had no idea that this was happening. And I want to tell you, that young lady would not stop calling me after that.
Damn.
And it was because of my reaction.
Yo.
And like, it's so funny how your reaction is everything to these things,
Everything.
I actually, sometimes when I'm just being like, really weird, I'm like, I always think about, if Justin dumped me, I'd be like, okay, sounds good. I literally would be at my house. I'm like, if he ever dumped me, I'd be like, cool, sounds good. And I wouldn't care because I know he'd regret it. I've literally had that conversation. I'm like, gotta play cool.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Wow.
So did you ever get back with her? Damn, that is that's a little psycho, but very well played.
I didn't even mean for it to be played like that.
I know.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
That's amazing.
I remember seeing her after that and her being a little weird about it and me being like, why are you so weird? I did do a funny thing. I used to go to, when I could afford Equinox, I would, let's joke everyone. Don't you find it to be very expensive there?
It's so
What is it? 225?
It's
depending on where you go. Yes.
Yeah.
expensive.
It's expensive. It's like one, yeah.
But
$40 a class is fucking expensive.
Completely.
There's like berries for like $35. That's just expensive.
yeah, I guess
Equinox,
it is.
you could technically steam,
Do all the
shower, sauna, workout.
I'm just not a bathroom person. I don't like public bathrooms. I don't like public nudity. And I got to tell you, I was just in the gym the other day and there was a man in there who not only was completely nude, but made eye contact too. Like, was really like, and like talking to me, hey man, and just completely not even a towel. And it really, I'm still not, no matter how old I get, I'm still, and he was an older gentleman and, It's like it's where I live. Like we were talking about our kids and the schools and stuff. There was no weirdness. I mean, there was no weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't believe that he was so free with that.
You'll be disgusted. Kristen and I went to the Korean spa the other day.
Oh no, those are super cool. That's really cool.
Oh, you couldn't go.
No,
It's women
but I
only.
know, but the women do the scrubbing and the things and everything, and it's totally nude.
It was
It was wild.
it was wild.
Did you get scrubbed down?
No, thank God.
Yeah, this
Why
was
not?
because this was a little weird. It was a weird situation with this particular spa, but it was like you were a like cattle, and they
piece of
have
meat,
these
yeah.
swinging doors, and they're like 82, and we're
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
"Ah." and the women would walk in, and then they would just like lay down on this meat counter,
Right.
Yes.
and then the woman who is in a bra and undies was
Right.
like scrubbing her.
Sure.
And I did that. We did that in Morocco.
Sure.
We've both been to Morocco and done like the hammams and stuff. But this was different.
It was like everyone would watch you get your asshole scrubbed.
Right.
Yeah.
And everyone would be able to see you. And it just didn't look very sanitary.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think soap is involved. I think
I do too, but I don't want to be like slopping all over a table.
I think those spas are pretty clean. I've never heard any.
The one that just never goes into public bathrooms.
I know, honestly.
Listen.
It was wild though, too. The nakedness was wild.
I used to go to Korean spa. My wife loves Korean
Oh,
spas.
yeah.
So I would go on the men's side and my wife would go on the female side. And I'm sort of weirdly okay with the nudity in a Korean spa. It's the, hey man, how are you? What's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, so what's going on with the school, the field trip? Are they going to go do that? Are they going to Malibu or what's, and like that, wow. You are completely naked
all the
and there's no
jinglies.
attempt to even you're not even in the process of putting clothes on. You're standing there completely nude.
Dude, it's a power play.
Is it?
Is it?
It's a power play. For sure.
Oh, shoot.
Ours was, I just questioned how sanitary it was now that I think about
It's
it. Like
totally sanitary.
being in hot water with a bunch of.
I think it's totally sanitary. Hey, getting back to my point about Equinox, the gym I used to be able
yeah.
to afford.
Mhm.
I used to always see my ex there. I had an ex who I dated for. It's really the only relationship I had before I got married. It was over a year, and I would see her there, and she would try to ignore me, there, and I'd always
She would call the cops.
And it's funny. I have a thing. If I feel weird around someone, you have to go address it immediately.
Oh.
So I'd walk right up to her and go, "Hi, how are you? Is everything okay? Are you good? I'm good. Things are great. Things are good. Are you good? Are you good?" And she'd be like, "Fuck you. Get away from me." And I'd be like, "Oh God, I want to make sure I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Oh God, I miss you. Fuck you. Get away from me."
You're the best. Damn
I'm
it.
going to Google her.
She was married, so it was
Yeah, you could do
I
it.
could sort of goof like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
So, what do you think about when your daughters start dating? What are your thoughts?
It's
going
starting to
through
happen.
Lindsay's
I have 2 10-year-old girls. One I can tell is very boy crazy. Am I allowed to say
Oh,
that?
yes.
She talks a lot about boys that she likes. She's always changing who she has a crush on.
At least she's talking about it.
Yeah.
I think that's
I'm
a
making
win.
them talk to me about it.
Yeah, that's
you know?
a win.
I have another daughter who doesn't admit at all to it. And then her sister tells me who she has a crush on. It's really funny. No, I've told them they can date when I die, when I'm dead. They can date everyone. They can date them all. I don't know. I mean,
You're figuring it out.
I think it's, I think because I have daughters, I think a lot of those questions are going to be answered by my wife, But I mean, what do you have to do as a dad? You just have to be open, I guess, and tell them all these guys are losers. I mean, I guess inevitably there's going to come a time where my daughters come home and are crying about a guy, and I'm going to be like, "Girls, this guy is such a loser.
We knew it the whole time.
Look at me. He is such a loser. You're in junior high school in the San Fernando Valley. Now listen, if we were in Paris, okay, and there was some Parisian air to, if we were in London and we're talking one of the princes dumped you, then yes, you should be crying. But in the San Fernando Valley, some jerk-off in tight ripped jeans and a pair of Vans, no, you're not allowed to cry. Is that a good approach?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
going to let her cry, actually. Nowadays, we let them cry.
Let 'em
Let them
cry.
cry.
Right.
But I would say that like your relationship with your wife and like kind of how there is no fight, like it is healthy and like they have that to look to, I think is even the most important part of the parenting. No? Well, how do you feel?
Yeah. You know what? Unlike your former almost boyfriend that you went on 4 dates with, and you can't tell from this interview, my wife and I are really funny. So
I know you are.
We have
you
a
can
lot
see it
of-
on the internet.
Yeah.
we have a lot of laughs over boys, my daughters, the one daughter who will never admit she likes boys. We have a lot
Totally.
of everything's a joke. You know what I'm saying? We do everything with humor. So we have a good old time. Wow, you know what's funny though is my wife and I hooked up before the old swipey thing happened.
Yeah, where'd you guys meet?
We met actually on a website called Christian Mingle.
The classic.
we met on Farmers
Farmers only. that was the next one.
Valley only.
We met at this is going to make you roll your eyes. We met at a Maxim Hot 100 party.
Wow,
Yeah,
guys.
Was she listed?
You rolled your eyes. Yeah.
I was going to say she's been listed
Yeah. She was listed.
many a
And
time.
she was in the VIP area. I was not.
Oh.
And I met her once before when she was previously married. And she was separated. And I saw her in the VIP area and I was waving. And she was like, me? And I was like, yeah, you. Come here. And she came out to the front. And I was like, I'm with her. And the security guy let me in. And she was like, that was pretty brazen of you. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting in here. Otherwise, I was at this dumb party with like 15 of my highly unintelligent college friends who were like, we're going, Maximum Hot 100 party. And I was like, I got to get away from these guys now. Stat. And we hung out for the afternoon and I left. She was with another dude on a date with another man. And her friend, as I was leaving, said, hey, take her phone number. And I went, she's with that older guy. And she's with that other guy. And she said, no, take her number. Trust me. She's going to want to call you. And so I took her phone number. And we just started dating. It's crazy.
Cool.
And then never stopped.
Wow.
It's funny how it happens. I mean, you're 5 years into a relationship, so that's a long time. You start dating and you just don't stop. Like, that's what happens.
It's
So
true.
it works.
It's not like we went to Jared and got like the heart pendant and said, we're going to do this. It's not like we went to the jewelry exchange in Tustin and got like some sort of, pendant and said, let's really try and do this. We just haven't stopped. It's crazy.
Do you still feel like you're dating?
Yeah, we have a fun time.
It's so fun.
We have a good time. We go out a lot. We love to eat out. We love to get the F away from our children. We have a fun time. We do really funny things, I mean, it's not like crazy. We did try to go to Coachella one year. That was a bust.
Whoa, why was it a bust?
It was just a bust. We went there and it was almost like the Fire Festival. I was like, what are we doing here? Like,
Truly.
this isn't us. You know what we did that day is we went to that water park right in Palm Springs all day.
Oh, fun.
But I bought the tickets. They were like $300, $400.
Yeah.
And we got there and I was like, I don't even like this music.
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
It's definitely a vibe.
everyone was posting and I was
Yeah.
like, get me out of here.
Everyone's like 20.
yeah.
Yeah,
like
it
on
was
drugs.
it was like
Everyone's
preteen.
really
It was like
young.
preteen almost.
Yeah. They're all wearing like crop tops.
And so we went to that water park with that water slide all day. It was really fun.
I love that. Let's talk about Fire Festival.
I just want to be also cognizant of your time.
Yeah, what time is it?
3:55.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Did we just talk for an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
almost.
gosh.
Almost. He has to pick up
well,
the kitty
I mean-
doo-doos.
No.
I'm okay.
Let's just do a little Fire Festival. 5
Let's
more
do Fire
minutes
Festival.
to end it up.
I am super bummed I was not at Fire Festival.
I know.
Tell me more.
I was super bummed. I actually want to wear one of those bracelets that they would charge up all their money with. I want to find one on the internet and wear it. And I want people to be like, what is that? And me to be like, it's my Fire Festival money bracelet. I have $3,000 on it. I'm waiting to cash it in.
What do you think of Billy McFarland?
I want to take my Fire Festival bracelet and when I try and buy something, just like put it up against like scanners. I think Billy McFarland, I think his intentions were good.
Huh?
I think his intentions were good.
No.
I don't think he sets out to commit fraud. I think that's what he commits,
Yes.
but I don't think he sets out that way. Let me tell you, I have a Magnesis card in my wallet right now. And when that was riding high, no, it's funny. It's a type of, listen, Billy McFarland is exactly the kind of person I have healthily avoided my entire life. I just knew. I went to NYU, I moved out to LA, and you just see the Billy McFarlands everywhere. And, you know, if you go out, especially if you go out at night, you always see a Billy McFarland. They have they have
Yes.
huge dreams, and they're really riding high. They usually have bottle service. And I had a small circle of friends, and I was like, that's not who we are. Stay away from those people. I would have never joined. I mean, I'm 100 years older than it, but I would have never joined a Magnesis type thing. I was a member of that Soho House for a hot minute.
Oh yeah.
Soho House is cool.
Is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I like Soho House.
But I guess that's what he was trying to do, though, was come up with a
Because the
Soho
app-
House, right?
Well, the Soho House was Magnesis, and then Fire Festival was to promote the app.
But everything is about like exclusivity and VIP
Yes.
and stars and stuff, and it's not real, you know.
Yeah.
It's not having an actual like talent, a craft, you know. But I love his dream. I love his dream. He wanted to put on Coachella, and honestly, it sounded pretty good.
It did sound good.
And that Fuck Jerry, they did a great job of marketing that. They got all those people to give their money. And listen, he's brilliant at raising money, you know? Got to charge up those fire bracelets. You got to charge them up. It's a cashless event. You got to put the cash on the bracelets. It's a cashless event.
Cashless. Yeah. He's a very special individual.
So I, in a weird way, I sympathize with Billy McFarland.
You heard it here.
Yeah, right.
I'm waiting for a parody to come out. You working on one for
Damn.
Funny or
Yeah,
Die
you know,
or what?
it's almost funny, like
Give me it.
like those parodies, like
You
it's
do it
funny. It's
so
almost
well.
like when it's a parody of itself. It's funny, like Donald Trump parodies. Like I almost like don't go for them because it's like
Too
no
obvious.
one's crazier than him.
Honestly.
So like people
It's
ripping on that. It's so funny. Anthony Atominik had that amazing president show on Comedy Central. It was amazing. He
Really?
made believe he was Donald Trump, but he did it like, I mean, he put on like the prosthetic makeup. He looked
Wow. I
and
never saw that.
sounded, and he was Donald Trump. You know, I don't know why it went off the air, but I'm guessing it was because Donald Trump is so out there. Like you don't need a parody of him,
Yeah.
you know? And I think Billy McFarland is so out there, you almost don't need a parody of him.
I don't know, because Donald Trump says such wild stuff that the parody can't make it wilder. So it's like
That's what it is.
It's like a parody would say something wild, and it's like he said wilder stuff.
Well, it's just so crazy. If you were going to
You're
like
like,
put
you
on a
don't know.
Donald Trump costume, it almost wouldn't be as crazy as what
Exactly.
his
Exactly.
look is. You know what I'm
Billy's
saying?
pretty just like douchey typical though. You know, like it's wild, but I think a parody would crush. And then one with Ja Rule in it, like psh.
Going to party
Yeah.
like rock star.
Yeah.
We're going to drink like movie stars.
Yeah.
And we're going to what?
Fuck like porn
Yeah, Billy, yeah. I loved it too when they're finally having that final meeting where like everyone's on Skype and it's like they're all going to jail and the FBI is talking to them and he's like, look, nobody died.
Oh my.
We did
Like,
not
that-
commit fraud.
That's the bar.
Yeah, they're
like no
like-
one died.
V1 wasn't
They are
as good.
lucky no one died.
Yo.
100%.
So lucky.
So they're lucky people didn't do more damage
kill each
on
other.
riots. Yeah,
Like,
honestly.
or like I don't know what
Honestly,
happened.
Lord of
Actually,
the
you know what?
Flies.
I'm going to say the Fire Festival really shows how amazing and beautiful we are as human
Wow.
beings, that they really took care of themselves at the Fire Festival.
Maybe that's the parody.
When it was completely lawless, it would be really fun to
You have
do.
to go to the bottom to bring yourself back to gratitude. So it was like an act of gratitude. It's like a gratitude practice.
That was that shot when they're in the bus and it's like they first see the
Like,
attempts,
oh my God.
and they're like, "What is that?
I mean,
Turn the bus around!" My personal favorite too are the Instagram, like the influencers who are like, where are we? Fire Festival. You ready to do this? I'm ready to do this. We're gonna have so much fun. Fire Festival.
And then they arrive, they're like, no.
Yeah.
So funny. Comedy.
Comedy.
Jer.
Okay, that was a beautiful one.
You're the best.
What are you looking forward to this year? What can we?
This year, what am I looking forward to this year? Nothing. I guess I'm supposed to set annual goals for myself, aren't I?
Maybe.
And where can people like watch you, find you?
I
Like,
work on
what-
a show.
Your Instagram's amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
by the
you.
way.
You're so
And
good.
I have a whole
I
team
remember when you
working on it.
started that freaking Instagram. I remember.
I was with you the night I
Yeah.
joined Instagram.
Yeah.
I was with you in New York
That's amazing.
the night I joined
I was
Instagram.
like, I need to watch this grow. It's
100.
literally going to grow quicker than anyone's Instagram
I was
has
with
ever grown.
you and our friend Seth Herzog the
Mhm.
night I started my username on Instagram.
Yes.
I'm on a show on WGN America. Oh, you know what I'm really trying to get to do more? And Lindsay and I have worked together is I'm trying to get more into TV directing.
You're so good at it.
And it's tough, you know. It's funny. It's not easy. It's really hard, you know. I've only directed a couple times since I worked with you, and it's like I'm really like putting myself out there for shows and like shadowing on shows, and it's really funny trying to break into something new. It's just no one has any. It's not that people don't trust me. It's a new. It's trying to break into something new,
Yeah.
and nobody wants anyone to break in. That's the problem. Is nobody. Because everyone's like, hey, listen, this is all filled up. You know, I mean, we don't need somebody else here.
But I love that you want to, and that
I
like
really do.
You like that that you're shadowing, that you're doing the work. It's not like you're asking for, I mean, whatever. It's just, it is, I think when you've been so successful in another area of the business and to want to explore another area, I think you should be.
You have to. Well, you
Given
have
that.
to come at it from a place of humility. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, it's like, you know, and this is probably different than what motivational speakers are going to tell you. You know, they're probably going to be like, set your bar and never lower it, and then you will achieve success. You keep going like a locomotive until you achieve your goals. Write your goals down, tattoo them on your lower lip, and then every morning when you floss, pull your lip down and look at those goals and say, I am those goals, and become your goal. Like,
And then you drop into a cold tank and like come out. And,
for me, it's about like trying to break into something that I need to, I don't want to say force my way into, but I need to break into. And I think it's about remaining humble. And that's how you get like an opportunity, you know, asking for help into place, asking for assistance into places, and it'll happen at some point.
well, I was a teeny tiny little part, and you were just so aware of everyone's needs and
Right.
everything. It was really nice. I had never
Right.
experienced that before. So
Yeah.
like, if anything, you're doing it different, I think. So, okay, this was amazing. You have to go pick up the little
to go pick
twinnies
up my
at
annoying
school.
children.
Where can
But-
people connect with you? What's your Instagram handle?
Mr. Jerry OC.
Yeah.
Give it a follow. It's a good
It's so
time.
good.
It is so
It is
good.
such a
The
good
eyebrow
time.
one was my favorite.
Dude, my brother texted me, was
That's
like,
the best.
oh shoot, have you seen Jerry's Instagram? He's shaved his eyebrows.
So
I
that
was
was
like,
the best.
Hey,
I
man,
just
you're a
used,
sucker.
Nice tune.
yeah,
sucker.
And they looked amazing.
I know. Someone, for those who don't know, someone made fun of my eyebrows in a comment and said I have, quote, the worst eyebrows in Hollywood, which is like the craziest thing to
Was
say.
it on your wife's picture?
No, it was
was
on
in
the
an
Daily
article?
Mail in the
Oh.
comment section. Look at him, and his eyebrows are the worst eyebrows in Hollywood. And I was like, what is wrong with this person? And so I took a photo of that and then of the article, and I was like, man, I guess I need to book a threading sesh, like as a joke. And then I was walking down the street with my wife, and there was like a the billboard for like threading, like
Yeah.
come upstairs. And my wife went, oh my God, act like you're going in there, and then we'll post it. And so I was like, acted like I was going into a session. And then my wife was like, I'm going to take a photo of you. And we
Whited out the
we
eyebrows.
just face tuned my eyebrows out. It was really funny.
They were amazing.
And it's funny because everyone has It's so funny. I didn't even realize this, but everyone has a horrific, I did too much to my eyebrows story.
Yeah. Girls are still recovering. I still won't grow back all my eyebrows because I pluck too hard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a thing. Don't ever pluck your girl's eyebrows ever.
Yeah.
My mom was
oh my
like,
God, let
"Come here."
them free.
No, I already got them bladed, microbladed.
Oh, cool.
I think 10's a good age. 10, 11. That's like about right. Start tattooing their
I
faces.
love you, Jer.
All
You're
right.
the best.
Bye, guys.
Here we go. Love you. Thanks, Jer.
Thank you so much.
So good. And if you guys love this episode, tag Jerry in your stories. He's really good about replying and reposting and all of that. So tag Mr. Jerry OC on Instagram. Okay.
We are at Almost 30 Podcast on Instagram if you want to follow us there. And then, make sure to subscribe and review.
That means a lot. Review of the week. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. I absolutely love these ladies.
Oh, who us?
5 stars. People are like, shut up. So I've been listening to this podcast for some time now, but I just listened to the most incredible podcast with the CEO founder of Silver Fern, which was just filled with real raw emotion. And when I say raw, I mean raw enough to bring me to tears in a coffee shop. Seriously, a million lessons learned from just this episode alone. And I am eternally grateful for this podcast and all the incredible guests featured. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet of you.
That was the
Appreciate
episode with Charity Lighton
Yes.
that we did. That was,
changed my life.
dude. And like what I love about her too is not only is her message so pure, her voice, her tonality, her energy
Yeah.
is beautiful.
She has such a mother energy that is like for everyone. It's not just for her children. It's like a mother energy for all. And, oh my God.
Dude, she's good people.
She is good people.
We
She's
love Silver
good
Fern.
people. Any and all prayers to her husband, Dan, when you can. I think, power of prayer. Let's do this. All right. We love you all so much. We'll see you on tour. We are coming to a city near you. Please check our website. We are updating tour dates, locations, all of that as we speak. So almost30podcast.com. And, if you also want to meet other people in your area, city, state, who are also a part of Almost 30 Nation, we do have our Almost 30 Ambassador program up and kicking, and it's so incredible. People are hosting meetups all over the world, which just, warms our heart. And you can go onto our website and check if you have a chapter near you. And if you don't, you could start one.
In Minnesota, they were at the Salt Caves.
Oh,
Dude, they were like, I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
that's the best.
They were doing Salt Caves. And then recently I saw the girls in LA did something. They did a hike.
and they did a sound bath journaling or a journaling
yes.
session,
Yes.
which was so cool. I think they did it at Beauty Wild.
Really?
Yeah, it was beautiful. I saw pictures from it. It looked beautiful.
It's amazing.
So yeah, that is like the coolest thing ever. So, all right. We love you so, 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 so much. And you're the reason why we do this. So we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.